All right, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for the Fall 2025 planning session for our pre-law chapters. We know many of you have just started classes or you will be very soon. And while getting readjusted back to school is definitely important, there are a few things that you should be planning if you are a current chapter leader within Phi Alpha Delta or maybe a future chapter leader. We really appreciate you taking the time to join us before you start this holiday weekend. So, thank you for making planning for Phi Alpha Delta one of your priorities. My name is Katie Gibbs. For those of you who do not know me, I am Phi Alpha Delta's Deputy Director. I have been working for Phi Alpha Delta for 12 years, and I really believe in the work that we do. I am one of 7 executive office staff members that help lead the organization, and it is our full-time job to make sure that our chapters and leaders have the resources that you need to run a successful chapter. This is our full-time job, and all of us here are happy to help you. Some quick notes before we get started. This session is going to be recorded and we'll post it to our YouTube channel as well as our resources page. We will also be posting of these slides, so don't feel like that you need to make all these notes or these links that will be available to you. This time is yours. So please, if at any time you have questions, feel free to raise your hand, put it in the chat. We really want this to be your time to get any lingering questions that you have answered. Xena and I will be staying on after the presentation to chat with anyone who has additional questions. Maybe there's things that you didn't want to talk during the recording, so we will be available afterwards. But please feel free to interrupt us. We really like when this is kind of an engaging conversation where there's a little bit of back and forth. We don't want to just be talking at you. We want to hear about what works for your chapter and what things that you are struggling with. So, as I said, I'm Katie Gibbs. I am your Deputy Director. We have Andrew Sagan, our Executive Director. He has been with Phi Alpha Delta for over 25 years. Leslie Plummer, she is our Director of Technology and Competitions. She's the one who sets up a lot of those emails that you get from us, and she has recently taken on competitions, which means our mock trial competitions. LaShate Grayson is our Director of Training and Growth. If you ever have questions about leadership or recruitment, she's really going to be a great resource for you. Xena Strench is here. She'll be doing most of our presentation today. You all should be very familiar with her name. She is our chapter operations coordinator, and she is your first point of contact if you're not sure who to contact here at the executive office. We have Summer Stevens. She's our communications and marketing coordinator. She does a lot of our social media that we would love to see you all follow us. Please send us your social media links. We love to see what you all are up to. And we have Danielle Knotts, our front office coordinator. She is the glue that holds all of us together. She does a lot of the shipping for merchandise and recruitment, and a lot of financial stuff behind the scenes. So Danny is a great part of our team. We all work together very closely. So if you're not sure who to contact, I would always contact Xena first. And if you don't remember Xena, you can remember info@pad.org. Like I said, this is our full-time job is to serve all of you all.
All right, so what are we going to be talking about today? Recruitment is going to be a big topic. We actually have one of our chapters who is a star recruiting chapter. I'm going to speak to you today about some tips and advice that they may have. We're also going to talk about membership, how to join, do's and don'ts for that, your benefits, chapter programming, your calendars, your events, and then pre-law conference. So moving ahead to our resources. Okay, here is a link to our here's our resource page here. So all of these are available online at pad.org/resources and policies. These are some common links or some common resources that you may need this semester. Okay. So what should you be thinking about for fall semester? Recruitment is going to be a big one. New members, your initiation ceremonies, you're going to want to be fully prepared to request your materials and what that's going to look like in advance. Fundraising for pre-law conference, we do expect that a representative from each one of your chapters is in attendance. So we're going to discuss that in more detail later. what that's going to look like. And then planning ahead, being prepared for spring semester for elections, officer transitions. Okay. So officer transitions, this is a big one. A lot of chapters see issues from their new officers being ill prepared in the upcoming from after the transition. We do have a checklist available online. Okay, says bookmark this page. So these are some of the common things that you want to think about when you're transitioning your roles. Do they have the social media account passwords? Do they know how to access their funds, their bank account? So there is an outline for what this should look like on our resources page, but you can come up with your own procedures for how you'd like this to look for your chapter. And stop me if any of this looks unfamiliar to you or if you have any questions about this. Also, award applications is a big one.
And it looks like your calendar popped up on the screen, your team's
Did
calendar.
it? I think I'm used. Can you see it
That
all?
looks, that's better. Thank you.
Okay. Um, Awards applications is a big one too. If you don't have an awards chair, that's a position you could think of appointing. We do announce our award winners at pre-law conference, which is another great reason to attend. So after every event you have, you can go ahead and submit an award application. Who knows, you could win. So that's something to look into. Those are due in June, but you can submit those at any time. Is there anything else you want to touch on in this page, Katie? Okay, I'll move along then. Okay, a big one here is faculty advisor. If you guys do not have a faculty advisor, I would go ahead and start looking and thinking about who would be a great advocate for your chapter. You don't just have to have one. If there's somebody you think is going to aid you in better ways, go ahead and talk to them. I would reach out first to your pre-law advisor if your campus does have one. So these people are going to be a great advocate for your chapter. They can actually promote and help with recruitment. They can probably guide you to some resources and opportunities on your campus. They can help with fundraising. We do prefer they oversee your elections. And then they're also a great tool for interpersonal conflict solving that can help mediate any issues. So they're just a fantastic resource to have. Um, if you don't have a faculty advisor already, please have them fill out the application. It is available on our website as well as there's a link to it here. It's a free membership. They also can attend our events for free. We are going to send an email touching base with all of you about your faculty advisors, making sure we do have your updated information. Does anyone have any questions about faculty advisors?
Does anyone have any experiences with a really great faculty advisor? Do you have a faculty advisor who helps you with recruitment? Do they have like a mailing list that they use? Do they talk about it during their advising appointments? Do you know who your faculty advisor is? They really are a great resource. So, we always want Phi Alpha Delta in your school to have a great relationship, and the starting point of that really good relationship is with that faculty advisor. So, if anybody has an experience with their faculty advisor that they'd like to share, go ahead and unmute, and we'd like to hear about how that goes.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
We
you.
can.
I want to share for us at Texas State University, our faculty advisor is Renee LeBlanc. She's also the pre-law advisor for our campus. And I actually learned about Phi Alpha Delta through her when I first transferred over. I know she always speaks to the students about the org. She tells them what we offer and what we can do for them. And she's always attending our first meetings of the semester, big events that we host. So she's been very helpful in also promoting our meetings to all students who are in the pre-law track.
That's
That's
fantastic.
exactly what we want to hear. Thank you so much for sharing that. Anybody who does want to share today, it is fraternity tradition to say your name and chapter. So I would be like Katie Gibbs, Executive Office. Um, but I think you did say your pre-law chapter, so thank you so much.
Okay. Well, let's move on to recruitment. Um, so we're gonna have one of our chapters speak about recruitment efforts. I did send goals out recently, over the summer, and this kind of gives you an idea of where you were last year and the potential I think your chapter has. So we're gonna check in with you halfway through the semester. But things that you want to think about, having a good programming calendar, making sure people know how to join correctly, things of that nature. If you haven't requested a recruitment box yet, it is a free resource. And inside, you're going to find a lot of information like brochures and cards with QR codes to join, swag for tabling, and some information from our sponsors. So if you haven't already, that is a great resource just to grab. We also have recruitment resource for sale on our website. And then we do have some recruitment material you can print on our resource page. Okay. So
Has anyone here already gotten a recruitment box this semester? Can you tell us what you like, what you don't like about the recruitment boxes? Have you guys started tabling yet? Have you already had your student orientation fair?
Hi, I'm Isabel Woolley. I'm from the University of Kansas chapter of Phi Alpha
Thank you.
Delta. So basically, we already got our recruitment box earlier this summer, and it was great. It had the stickers are great, the pins are great, and then there's a lot of great information in there about Phi Alpha Delta. One thing that we think would be helpful is um, a lot of people were talking about the reduced LSAT resources, like the reduced cost for LSAT resources. We didn't see anything like that in the recruitment box. Is that something that was in there and we just missed it, or is that something maybe that could be added?
You know, it's really funny that you say that because that was something that was mentioned in our presentation for the law school chapters as well. So, what we do is we refer people to our membership benefits page on the website. We don't like to print out what those specific discounts are because they change all the time. So, for the most up-to-date information, you can definitely go to the membership benefits page. You have to be logged in to find out what the discounts are. So, it's like one LSAT prep company might be giving you $200 off, another one might be giving you like 25% off. So, we will definitely keep that in mind when we do our recruitment boxes next time because I think that like return on investment is really important, and I think that is what our members want to say, what potential members might want to see. So thank you for that. And just a reminder, if you guys ever need more recruitment materials, you can always request them from us. This is a free resource. This is what your initiation fee goes towards. And if you just need brochures or you just need stickers, let us know and we can definitely customize that to whatever it is that your school needs. So thank you for your feedback, Isabel.
all right. At this time, we are going to ask that University of Florida takes the floor and gives us some information about their recruitment process and any advice that they may have.
Hey everyone, my name is Elon Cohan. I am the president of the UF chapter of Phi Alpha Delta. I'm joined here by Devin Keneally, our treasurer, as well as I believe Grace Stanley, our secretary, and Bella Berger, our VP, are also in the Zoom as well right now. So we were asked to give just a few short tips about how we recruit, and it kind of boiled down to two main things for us, which would be one, starting as early as possible, and two, really catering our events towards things that new people would want to see. So as far as starting as early as possible, that's in all aspects of things. So us personally, our e-board, um, we have that decided at the end of each semester, and right from the beginning of the previous semester, we're already planning recruitment events for the next semester. So we had multiple meetings throughout the summer saying like, hey, what kind of events could we put on just this first week to spur recruitment? So one new thing we're trying this year is like a spirit event or a spirit week rather. Um, We're doing tabling already just this first week. We're doing all of the fairs and community events that UF has to offer. And I think Bella or Devin want to talk a little bit about the events.
Yeah, we plan like a large variety of events and mainly focused on things like professional development and like a sense of community. So this semester we have networking in the swamp, which Bella can probably tell more about because she's the one who does most of the organizing for that. And has kind of come up with that idea where we get a bunch of local attorneys and kind of rent out a space for them to come and meet students and things like that. And then in the spring semester, we have Law in the Swamp, where we bring law school representatives from all over to meet with students so people can learn more. And like these are bigger events, but they're very popular and they really I think first tell people what Phi Alpha Delta is and then like see what there is to offer. And then there's like a bunch of smaller programs within that, and we're still like constantly trying to build and see what we can offer our members.
Hi, I'm Bella. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I have my headphones on and I'm outside. But as Katie mentioned in the chat and Devin talked about it too, networking is the number one thing. I think that especially for our chapter, our networking and our alumni is one of the biggest things that we have to offer. So every fall semester we put on, like Devin said, networking at the swamp, where we have a bunch of local attorneys. We have judges, we have law professors, we have them come out, network with our members. It's a very good way to kind of find out more in depth what the law field is like. You're talking to people that are already in the field, seeing what they do, what their days look like. So we do that. And then as well, just this last semester, we started a professional mentor-mentee program, connecting our members with attorneys and judges and law professors, as well as law students that go to UF and our alumni of P.A.D. So we connect them with them. So it's a more direct bridge to understanding things within the law.
I actually want to add to that a little bit by saying like that the network seems like it's like an intimidating thing to have to try to get, or like if you don't think you have a network, like a lot of what we do is cold emailing people in the area and seeing who's willing. And like we are in Gainesville, Florida, so it's not like we're in like a particularly, huge city where there's lots of attorneys, but there are a good amount, and there are a lot of people who are willing to come out and spend time, whether that's at our events or at our meetings. We often have people come and speak. So it's definitely something that I think people should just, take that risk and take that initiative to reach out to people.
I'm so glad to hear you all say that because yes, our network is our number one benefit. We are the largest legal organization behind the American Bar Association, and that's what's going to set Phi Alpha Delta apart from some of the other organizations on your campus. We are not just a club at your school. We have over 600 pre-law chapters chartered throughout the world, and we also have chapters chartered at just about every law school, and then we have alumni all over the world. So when you're looking for these networking connections, you don't have to start from scratch. You can always reach out to us here at the executive office. We are happy to get you connected. No matter what kind of legal connection we're looking for, we have that available for you. Does anybody else want to talk about what works for recruitment at your chapter? Is there something that maybe you do differently from University of Florida? We would love to hear what works for our chapters because you all are the experts on this.
You can drop it in the chat as well.
Okay. I would say, Xena, let's move ahead then.
All right. All right, so I did want to go over our open membership policy. So our open membership policy basically states that anyone in good standing as your university defines it is welcome to join Phi Alpha Delta at any time. So we always want you to be in compliance with your university first. But we personally do not allow things like bids, rushing, pledges, anything like that. People should have a full understanding that they can freely join this organization if they are in good standing. Is that everybody on the same page with that one?
So, our open membership policy is one of the things that we are really strict about. We let our chapters have a lot of room to be able to function on what works best for your campus culture, but our open membership policy is not something that we are going to slide on. So, we do not have a GPA requirement. We do not have a major or a minor requirement. If someone is in good standing, however your school defines good standing, they are welcome to join. And like Zena said, they are welcome to join at any time. The best way that you can cover yourselves for this is make sure everyone has access to the membership application on pad.org. If someone does not complete a membership application on pad.org, we do not have them recorded as a member. That can sometimes become a problem when you're going to apply to law schools or you're going to apply to jobs. If they reach out to us to confirm membership, if someone did not fill out a pad.org membership application, we are not going to have them listed, and then that becomes a character and fitness issue. So, the best thing that you can do to be in compliance with the PAD open membership policy is make sure that you have the pad.org membership application all over your social media, all over your website, whatever the membership process looks like at your school, that membership application needs to be available and accessible to everyone. You cannot have your own membership application for the chapter. We understand that a lot of times you have to register through your school's student organizations, but don't forget to have people submit those applications on pad.org. They can also submit their international initiation fee directly to us. That is not something that your chapter officers need to keep track of.
Right. We know that there's a lot of common Greek language like bids and rushing, that it's not something that we do. And even though that may be the common vernacular, it can be very misleading to people thinking that they may not be accepted. So we want to get in the habit of not using those terms.
So a lot of times we hear people say rush. In Phi Alpha Delta, we don't say rush, we just say recruitment. We don't even say potential new member. These are they can be our new members if they want. Um, Another big one that we see as a violation of our open membership is required attendance or participation in events. So that means you can't say, oh, you have to come to an interest meeting before you can fill out an application, or oh, you have to come have a chat with two or three of the brothers before you join as a member. People can join at any time without attending any of your events.
Do we have any questions about that before we move on?
And if you do have questions about this, we'd much rather you ask so that we can get you on the right course.
Okay.
Hi,
Okay.
I'm Sam.
Oh.
I'm from Florida Southern College. My
Hey,
question
Sam.
for you guys is once they get through the full membership process where they pay the dues, do all of that, we have been having issues where people will pay for the dues, do all of that, but then they aren't showing up to meetings doing all of that. Once they do fill out the membership, get everything taken care of, are we allowed to kind of have more of an incentive for requiring like meetings or activities in that way?
Really great question. I'm really glad that you asked that because that is a
Mhm,
question that we address a lot here.
mhm.
So I'll do a very quick spiel on this. You're going to
Okay.
have three types of members in your chapter.
Mhm,
You're going to have the resume line filler. They join and pay just so that they can put on their resume. You never see them. Then
mhm,
you're going to have your couch potato. They might come to the one event where you're having a networking event, or maybe you have free pizza. And then you're going
mhm,
to have your active and engaged members. So your job is always to try to get those resume line fillers to become couch potatoes and get those couch potatoes to become active and engaged members.
yeah.
So you can require attendance at your chapter meetings. It cannot be part of the membership process.
Okay. So as long as after they get through the full process of the membership, all of that, then it's something that we can say, hey, for you guys to kind of stay in good standing with us.
Yeah. And I
Okay.
really like to portray it as like this is our chapter expectation. Our
Okay.
chapter expectation is that you do XYZ.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
some of our chapters have a points system.
Hmm.
I kind of have mixed feelings on a point system. If you're going to do it, we really want it to be incentivizing our members and
Yeah.
not punishing them.
Hmm.
So maybe you have a really good relationship with one of our partners on pad.org, and maybe every meeting you attend, you get points, and at the end of the semester, you raffle off an LSAT prep book or something like that.
Okay, perfect.
We know every chapter is different, and what it takes to motivate people is always going to change.
Mhm.
So I think the best way to get attendance at your events is to have your events at a predictable time. You
Okay.
meet the third Wednesday of every month at 7 p.m. in the union.
Yeah.
All of your meetings should have something where the students are getting something out of it.
Okay.
Nobody wants to spend their time to show up to a classroom just to talk about chapter business. They want to
Yep.
have a speaker or a workshop or LinkedIn headshots, and make sure that they're getting something tangible out of it.
Okay,
Um,
perfect.
that is a question we receive all the time. So if anybody in the room today has suggestions on how you keep your members engaged, how you keep them showing up to events, we would definitely love to hear that, because that's something that we hear a lot, is that you're
Yeah.
planning these great events and then people aren't showing up. So if
Yeah, and I
anybody has something
know,
that works, I'd love to hear it.
yeah, because I know we're trying to build our organization because we're a small private college, so we're trying to build it, trying to get everyone into it, and we definitely have gotten the numbers higher. It's just now having people be involved.
And I mean, another way to get people involved is have them take on a leadership role.
Okay.
Everyone has something to offer, everybody
Mhm.
has some kind of skill. So let's recognize that with a title for them and
Okay,
see if
perfect.
if there's people who are willing to do the work, let's
Mhm.
get them a title, because that's going to make them feel a little bit of ownership for the chapter, and then
Mhm.
they're going to be more likely to attend.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
I
Another
might
tip that we're
have
gonna
some.
go.
Oh,
Go ahead,
Yes,
Zach.
who's that?
sorry, I had some suggestions for getting the engagement, because we do a point system at Florida State University. I'm the president of their chapter, and we found a lot of success by using those points to get some kind of rewards at the end of the semester. Like we do, every chapter meeting they come is 5 points, and every other event is three. And at the end of the semester, every 5 points is $1 off of any merch that we sell.
Okay,
Oh, that's a fun one.
that
Good
is fun.
idea.
Absolutely.
Hi, my name is Jada. I'm also treasurer of the Florida State University chapter. And another thing that we do with our points is our point system also allows them an opportunity to go to on our retreats. The more points you have, the more likely you're selected to go on our retreats, which is really something that our members enjoy going on. So that's also another incentive that we provide for them.
Awesome.
My name's Sophie Nardesi. I'm the president at the University of Tampa chapter. And I just had a question. If we hold chapter and make it like it's not required to come to chapter, are we allowed to say like the information being given out in chapter, such as like maybe like major events we're going to have, like that form of communication is only going to be through like word of mouth, like, and the people who don't show up to chapter don't get those benefits unless it's like excused, or would that be like not allowed?
I don't really love the sound of that. Um, I get worried when we talk more about excused and unexcused absences. Um, that is like a complaint that we've gotten from members that we need to address with our disciplinary committee. So anything that is limiting communication or limiting members' access to things, I don't love that.
So then with the point system, are we allowed to do like if you come to chapter, it's a point, but then like for those who aren't coming to chapter, they're not getting the point. That's like that wouldn't cross over as like excused and unexcused because it's like
Right.
they're not
Because
okay.
it's incentivizing, not
Okay.
punishing.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
I really appreciate you asking that.
Thank you.
Any
Does
more
anybody else have
questions?
questions about attendance, engagement? We know this is really important, so we're happy to spend the time on it.
Also, if you think of any additional questions, just send an email our way afterwards and be happy to either meet with you or answer that via email. But
And
if
thank you
not,
everyone who shared what works for your chapter.
okay. I'm gonna go ahead and move along to our membership transitions. So, what happens after you graduate? So if you do not take the membership transition process, your membership will become inactive. So upon graduation, you'll become pre-law alumni, so inactive. So if you're planning to go to law school, we have a list of our law school chapters and you can transition your membership. If you are not sure where you're going, you're taking a gap year, maybe you're not going on to law school, we also have an annual membership called auxiliary. So this is something I would talk to people graduating this fall or in the spring as well about is their next steps. Are they going to go on transition to law school or where are they going next? So there's a discounted rate to transition to your law school chapter. For new members, law school initiation is $100. For you guys, it's 80. So they do not need to pay the full fee. They just need to transition. Once you become a law member, that is the last required fee for the rest of your life. You can go ahead and join an alumni chapter upon graduation, and then that has optional dues. Does this process make sense to everyone?
And I just wanted to add in when we're talking about alumni, we are talking about alumni from law school. Alumni of pre-law, we do not consider them members unless they take action to continue their membership. So, pre-law alumni are not actually a membership type in Phi Alpha Delta. If you want to continue your membership after graduation, you have to either join your law school chapter or join the auxiliary. So when we reference alumni, we mean alumni of the law school program.
And we
It's
will
often a misconception that pre-law membership is for life. Pre-law membership does end at graduation, but we have an option for membership no matter where you are in your legal education and career.
And when you're getting close to your graduation date, every individual member will get an email prompting them to transition. But if for some reason someone had put in an email they don't use, it would be a good chance for you to educate people. Does anyone have questions about this process?
Oh, we've got a question in chat here from I think it's Elena. Would auxiliary be an option for those who continue to go to graduate school? Very good question. So, if your school has a graduate school, we would consider those graduate members pre-law student members. So, if someone is going from undergrad to grad school at the same school, what they would need to do is just let us know their updated graduation date because we consider grad school students pre-law student members. There's no additional fee there. They just need to let us know what their updated graduation date is.
Also, if you are going to transfer to another university, there's a form for that and it is completely free of charge. So same thing, if you're going to grad school at a different school, there's a form that just transfers you to another chapter. No charge.
So moving from one pre-law chapter to another pre-law chapter has no additional fees here at the executive office, but your new local chapter might have local dues.
Okay. Why this isn't one in the chat?
The follow-up question was, can the grad school students join meetings just like they did in undergrad? First things first, we always want you to follow your school's rules first. So check in with your school to find out if those grad school members can attend your meetings. If your school says it's okay, then yes, you can treat them just as you would any other pre-law student member. Great question. Thank you.
So how to join? This should be a familiar process. It is simple as applying on our website and then paying your initiation fee. And that's covering your certificate, your PIN, as well as your benefits. You can charge local dues, but I would definitely request a roster before your initiation ceremony to confirm that everybody has made their payment and therefore they're going to be sent their materials. And we'll go over that a little bit more. So that's as simple as it is. Apply on our website and pay your initiation fee, and you are good on our end. Okay. Going over fees and dues. So pre-law membership is currently $150. As I went over, you get a discount transitioning to law school of $80. And then from there, you are a member for life and it is free to continue your membership, receive all your benefits. If you go on to join auxiliary, there's an annual fee of $50. Your faculty is free to join and they are free to attend our events. We do have payment plans available for virtually everything as well. Okay.
So we know $150 might be a little scary for college students. I don't know if I would have been able to pay that fee to join an organization when I was a college student. So please, when you're talking about membership, let them know that that payment plan is available. So we can break it down into monthly fees for them. We don't want cost to be a reason that somebody doesn't join. Some of our chapters do some fundraising, and they have an initiation fee fund set aside for those students where even a payment plan might not be accessible. And the other thing that I'm seeing more in colleges and universities is that the school might also have funding for students to spend on joining a student organization. There is a set amount for our payment plans. I think, what does it break it down to? Two, three, or four payments, Xena? But if somebody needs something more customized, we're always happy to work with them.
Mhm.
Can we go back to 2 slides
2 slides.
right there? Um, just as a reminder, you as chapter leaders, as officers, do not need to be collecting the international initiation fee. That is really just putting way too much work on you when people can just pay us directly. We keep track of it. We can send you a roster at any time. We can tell you who joined, when they joined, did they pay or didn't they do. Okay. And then where does this international initiation fee go? All these students who are paying $150, where does that go to? Okay, I do have another question about the payment plan. So before you go into this, Zena, I do want to answer this. So the question is, will individuals who pay with the payment plan still be accounted for to get their initiation materials on time? Yes. Once we receive the first payment from someone's payment plan, we will have them marked as paid on your roster. So on your roster, you're not really going to know who's on a payment plan or not. But what will happen is if there is somebody on a payment plan and they miss a few payments, then their membership type is going to change to DP, which is disputed payment. That means that they started a payment plan and then they haven't completed it in full.
I see another question there. Does it need to be paid in full before initiation? No. We just need to make sure that you're still continuing to pay your payment plan. So if it's in disputed payment status, then yes, we would hold off on sending them their materials. But if they're still on a payment plan and in good standing when we ship materials, then they will receive them.
Yeah, so if somebody joined Phi Alpha Delta, submitted their membership application and submitted a payment plan and then didn't complete their payment plan, their membership would no longer be valid.
Okay.
So now let's talk about where the initiation fee goes.
So where your initiation fee goes, it's going to cover the cost of your certificate and PIN. It's also going to cover the insurance for your chapter events, your chapter officers. You also get access to free recruitment materials. And then you will also be eligible for grants. So that money is going directly into our grant programs too. It's also going to your member benefits and discounts, which you can see a full list of that on our resource page and our benefits page. And then it also goes to staffing for Katie and myself and all of us here at the EO.
The insurance for the chapters is a huge thing. Part of being part of our international organization is that as long as your chapter and officers are following our policies, you will be covered under our general liability insurance. So if the chapter ever gets sued, if anybody ever names the chapter officers in something, you will be covered under our insurance as long as you're following our policies. Some of your schools are going to require that you submit a certificate of insurance. We have that available to you, and I can't tell you how huge of a benefit this is to you all as members. And our insurance manual is posted on that resources and policies page as well. If you guys ever have any questions about risk management, very happy to discuss all of that with you.
Just going into further detail of the benefits and discounts you get by being a member. Oh,
So let's talk about some of these things that we haven't talked about. So we talked a little bit about the membership benefits. You guys check out that membership benefits page. That is where we list all of our partnerships. We are partnered with the industry leaders that will get you the answers to your questions about applying to law school or making the decision about if law school is right for you. So anyone listed on our membership benefits page, they will also come and do programming with your chapter. So they'll talk to you about financing your legal education or how to prepare a personal statement, how to address any issues in your application process, how to decide what law school you want to go to. We have partnerships with all the experts in the field to get you those answers. And as you all should know, everything in the legal field is about building relationships. It's not just about building relationships within your chapter or within the P.A.D network. It's also building relationships in the legal field with some of these partners. Another benefit that we have that I think people aren't really aware about is P.A.D has a career center. It's careers.pad.org. It looks like it's a job board, but there are so many other resources available there, including a free resume review. And one of our partners is Access Lex. They're the ones who are all about financing your legal education. Part of being a P.A.D member is you get a 30-minute consultation with a financial advisor. This is someone who is certified in giving you that financial advice. Don't forget about content like our speaker series and our partner webinars. You can see all of those events on the pad.org national calendar. You can subscribe to our national calendar so that you can get reminders every time we add an event there. I think we talked about a lot of the rest of these, so go ahead.
okay. All right, here's a big one, your initiation ceremony. So this can be a formal event if you want. It does not have to be exclusive. You can invite people from your university, law students, alumni, friends, family, make a big deal out of it. We do have a script that we want you to follow, and you can find that on our resources page there. And then a big one is to make sure you're requesting your initiation materials in advance. So your initiation materials are the certificates and pins for your new members. So I know a lot of you have to reserve rooms and plan this out in advance. So as soon as you know your initiation dates, please send them my way so that I can start printing and sending you your initiation materials. If they don't come in time, we recommend giving out carnations as a placeholder. And we do expect you to hold 2 initiation ceremonies a year or semester. This just ensures that if you have people joining after the first initiation ceremony or couldn't attend the first one, that they have the opportunity to participate. All right. So your materials, they are sent at no cost, but if somebody wants one personally sent to them, we can do that for an additional charge of $15. But otherwise, it is the responsibility of the officers to request and distribute these materials. They are covered by each individual member's initiation fee. Good question in the chat.
So
Okay.
we do not need you all to send a list of members that are eligible for initiation. We are going to send certificates and pins to everyone who has submitted a membership application and payment to us. So we don't need you guys sending that list. We keep track of all of that for you. It is your responsibility to keep track of local dues. So if somebody did not pay their local dues, they would not be eligible for initiation at your decision. Every certificate and pin that we send out to you, it is going to be the responsibility of your officers to distribute these certificates and pins to your new members, whether they're able to attend the ceremony or not. So please make it a part of your process to hold 2 initiation ceremonies. So if there's someone who couldn't attend your first ceremony, or maybe they joined after your first ceremony, make sure that they have those 2 initiation ceremonies options. We understand that we are all busy students with lots of other responsibilities. So we want to make sure that they can become initiated. And you can also initiate people at any meeting of the chapter. We do want you to have 2 ceremonies per semester, but you can also initiate people at your chapter meetings.
Another question I get all the time is when should we request our materials? You should request them as soon as you know, and you do not need to hold off until you think you have everybody. I will continuously send them on a rolling basis once you report your initiation ceremony date. So you're just going to keep getting packages as needed. So there's no need to wait.
So as long as and requesting the materials is as simple as letting us know your exact initiation ceremony date and a mailing address. Like Xena said, anyone that joins and pays in a semester will be sent their certificate and pin that semester. We get a lot of questions about initiation ceremonies and certificates and pins, so if anybody needs any clarification, right now is your time. All right.
All right, so here is a link to some of our resources that you'll be needing to use a lot. Here's the payment plan. We have rosters. You can also just email me. I would like a roster for my chapter. I do not care how many times you ask for them. I get some weekly, so I don't mind at all. Here's a list of your recruitment material that is super helpful. And then this is the official initiation material request. I do prefer it to be sent through the form, just so that we're not missing any information. I want to make sure I have a good mailing address and dates from you. So there you go. That is available right there.
And again, this slideshow is going to be posted as a PDF on that resources page. We've got about 10 minutes left.
Let's get along to our programming calendar. We ask that you submit a programming calendar in advance of each semester, and this is really a tool for you to help you plan your semester and keep your members informed. You can really boost your attendance with giving people dates far in advance. So if you have not submitted your fall programming calendar, please get it to me as soon as possible. It does not have to be fully complete. And if you are having problems coming up with what events you should be holding for each one of these categories, we can help you brainstorm about what you could be doing. If you also need any further assistance in getting these events to come to life, let us know. We can give you some advice on that as well. Like we said, 2 initiation ceremonies are expected each semester. Typically, they're held at the beginning and the end. So here's just an outline of what you should have on your calendar. So spring calendars will be due in November.
So as you guys heard earlier in this presentation, your programming calendar can be one of your strongest recruitment tools. The earlier you plan things out, the more successful your events are going to be.
Okay. Gonna move on. If you wanted to get a picture of this page, this is coming. This is some of our upcoming dates and deadlines. We really hope to see you all at pre-law conference. We do expect a representative from each chapter to be there. If you are interested, I would go ahead and register today. You don't need to pay today to register for the event. The deadline to receive a refund will be in October.
We are really excited about this year's pre-law conference. We already have over 250 pre-law students registered for this conference. So this is really your time to be able to network with other pre-law chapters throughout the country. And we also have a lot of our alumni members and some of our international executive board members attend this event. Our pre-law conference is kind of like 3 events in one. We have a mock trial competition. It is full and we do have a wait list already, but you do not need to compete in mock trial to come to the pre-law conference. Another big part of pre-law conference is our law school expo. We usually have about 100 law schools and other vendors come to this expo. And last year, 80% of the law schools that registered provided application fee waivers to the Phi Alpha Delta members. Sometimes the people who are tabling at our law school expo are those people who make the admissions decisions. So this is a really valuable event, especially for our juniors and seniors, to make that face-to-face impression with these law school representatives. If you guys have ever been to an LSAC forum, this is kind of like an LSAC forum on steroids. In addition to the mock trial competition and the law school expo, we also have a ton of other programming available for you all as you make this a decision about law school. We want every chapter represented at the pre-law conference so that you can make sure that you can bring your resources back to the chapter. Um, so I'll let Zena talk a little bit more about that. We have a lot of information to share about the pre-law conference. So we're going to be doing another Zoom session next week just about pre-law conference. We really want to see you there. I cannot tell you how important meeting with your pre-law, with your fraternity in person makes such a big impact.
Okay, so the why pre-law conference is important. Katie went over this a bunch. So there's going to be a lot of law school expo, well, law school admissions representative there. It's a good chance to learn more about the law schools that you could potentially be applying to. We're also going to have great speakers talk to you about professional and academic development. There's going to be a lot of opportunities to network and socialize. It is taking place right outside DC too, and we have set up the programming so you're going to have the opportunity to explore DC. It's just a fantastic opportunity. We do have a lot of funding opportunities, and we are going to waive the registration for one representative of each chapter. So if you haven't sent me the name of that person yet, go ahead and do that whenever you know. This does not need to be an officer. This is anybody that wants to attend. We do still need them to register and just skip the payment option and select waiver recipient um, so that we can have their full information. There's also grants you can apply to. We have a payment plan option available. And then we do recommend you start fundraising now or in advance to help you cover the costs of travel in our hotels. We do have a hotel block right now. It still has availability. So you can get a discounted rate on your hotel stay. And then our grants, I believe, will cover a portion of your travel or your hotel costs.
So in case you didn't hear her, one student from every chapter gets to come to the pre-law conference without paying the registration fee. You're still going to be required to do your hotel and travel costs, but one student from each school gets to come to pre-law conference without paying the registration fee. Most chapters are able to attend coming to the conference with a combination. They get some funding from their school. They might get some funding from their academic department or their faculty advisor. Check in with your student government. But you're also probably going to have to fundraise a little bit, and we can help you with that. We can talk about that at the pre-law conference one. We have grants. Grants are funded through the foundation. We have Phi Alpha Delta, the law fraternity, and we have Phi Alpha Delta's International Foundation, which is our charitable entity, which has grants available both for attending pre-law conference and competing in mock trial. The grants, I think, are the first deadline for pre-law conference. So if that's something that you're interested in, please check out the website. We do have a sample budget and a sample fundraising letter available for you in the planning guide, which is accessible on the pre-law conference website. For the hotel bookings, we'll receive an email about the rooms. That hotel booking website is also on the pre-law conference page. I have heard from some students that they're having a little bit of issues with the online booking, so you can always call the hotel and let them know that you're with the P.A.D conference. And again, we want to see you all there. We'll be having a session next week just about pre-law conference.
Somebody has asked in the previous years too, and this has come up a few times, if they're allowed to split their waiver as well. We will do that for you. So if you and a friend want to come, we can split 50% of their registration costs between each person as well. So there's a lot of different options. We're really flexible. Just the more planning in advance we can do, the better. Does anyone have questions about how they can get to pre-law conference or what to expect there?
If so, bring them next week because we have about 2, 3 minutes left in this presentation.
Okay.
My name's Reagan Nelson. I'm at the Texas State. If like I get named to go, am I still eligible to receive the grant, or is it you get one or the other?
You can use the registration fee waiver and the grant because there's a cost for the registration fee, and then we totally understand that you also have the hotel and travel costs. So yes, you can apply for a grant and use the registration fee waiver.
Okay, thank you.
Good question.
Okay, we're gonna move on. This is our upcoming leadership series. If you want to take a picture of this, it's also available on our national calendar.
So, Lashate Grayson, one of our executive office staff members that we mentioned earlier, she is our director of leadership and growth, and she's really the one who's going to help you with becoming the best version of the leader that you can. And part of doing that is through this leadership series. These are going to be Zoom meetings very much like this. Lashate is a very engaging presenter, so I encourage everyone to attend these events, even if you're not a chapter leader or even thinking about it. I think a lot of what she has to offer applies to everybody. So take a look on the national calendar. They will be added there soon.
Here's just a list of things that we can help with at the EO, but if you have any questions, any needs at all, just feel free to email or call us. It is our 9 to 5 job to assist you in your chapter.
The one that I really want to point out at this slide is if you guys ever have any issues at your chapter, there's any allegations of hazing or a member making people uncomfortable, please let us know. We are here as your resource. We are here to support your chapter. So we have an incident report form available on our website. You can fill that out at any time and we will address it. And we have a disciplinary committee. So if there is an issue that we need to address, there is a procedure in place. One of the things that we hear about a lot is removing a member before their behavior. There is a process available in the pre-law chapter bylaws that lists exactly what you need to do to remove a member. You cannot just remove a member because you want to. The member has to either be in bad standing with your school, they need to graduate, they can resign, or you can follow that process. Chapter officers cannot just remove a member that they want to remove. There is a process to follow.
I
I
just
see a
wanted to,
question. Go
yeah,
ahead.
I wanted to touch on that. Everything you will ever need is on our resource and policies page, including this presentation will be posted there. I believe it'll also be posted on our YouTube channel as well, but everything you ever need is on our resource and policies page.
And that includes, we have a link there if you guys ever want to schedule an individual meeting with us. We can meet with your chapter virtually so that we can talk about anything that's concerning your chapter specifically. So yes, this PowerPoint is going to be available. It's posted on the resources and policies page. And like we said, this is being recorded, so it will be posted to YouTube as well.